Round about this wind, rain.
You have a look where it's coming from. It's pretty dark over there. There's not ground for it. Did the Volcano rifle stop the broadcast at all, or was it still going? Did you not see it? Absolutely hammered it.
So that's, can I tell you, it's not the first year he's done it. And he actually did record. There wasn't a lot. But he did it last year, I don't know.
The bulletproof perspex, is that what it is?
No, it's fine. No, you're right. That's really good. So you have to put up with my drill this time. Just give me a whack if I get anything wrong. Smells good. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Several times. Okay.
Yes, exactly. They're complaining.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. I'm guessing outside.
Against the wall where
That's my prediction, mate. I think I made it worse.
Yeah.
So, is it alright if I run for cover if it's us, alright? Yes. Alright, I'm good to go when you are.
Welcome back to the 36th Australian Men's Softball Championship here in Orca, the ACT. The second of our semi-finals, WA taking on Victoria. The ACT going down in the last match, so they're waiting to see who takes out this game, and they'll face that opposition in the preliminary final tomorrow morning. But these teams, WA and Victoria, with it all ahead of them. Game will get underway shortly, just a conference between the coaches and the umpires at the moment, as we see the fielding team, Victoria, take to the diamond. Joel Goodall is the pitcher for Victoria. Catching is Lewis Weldon. First base Sam Cassiano. Ryan Shanahan at second. Third baseman Ryan Sinclair. Our shortstop is Glenn Rigg. Left field George Samaras. The centre fielder Stephen Dawson, and right field Ricky Wheeler. That is your Victorian lineup. And we'll await the opening bat for WA.
And we've got a change already, Adam. We've at the plate, the DP's gone into right field, and the right field player changes to the OPO. That's offensive player only, and we'll get through to the WA lineup throughout their batting order, and then in their first defensive inning. But interestingly, between these two, they've played twice through the rounds, and both games decided by a run. And for Victoria, Joel Goodall has not thrown against WA so far in this tournament. So it's a new picture for the WA boys to see, but they've got a high-quality lineup, and it all starts with this man, Scott Patterson, who's a previous batting award winner in this competition, the John Reid Shield. And he is lighting it up. 15 hits so far in this tournament.
Well, he's got the job to do here for Western Australia, the lead-off. Important position, but as you said, first time they're going to face Goodall, so that could make a big difference as well. Both of those early games decided by one. They went the distance, 7 innings, 5-4 and 9-8, I think it was. So very tight between these two teams. The opening pitch. Opening pitch of the game. A ball, plenty of heat on that one from Goodall.
Goodall straight into it with an inside rise ball. Just backing off Patterson from the plate a little.
Still working that inside, but this time coming down in the zone.
Goodall's thrown 23 innings so far in the tournament for 26 strikeouts. ERA of 3.9, so a little high for Goodall standards. A previous Best Pitcher Award winner. That was in Adelaide in 2016.
The 3 balls account. The batter well ahead here. Goodall have to put one down the middle, which he can't do, so the opening batter walked for Western Australia.
Yeah, lead-off walk from Patterson, who's setting it on fire so far in this tournament, and an important lead-off walk as well. But I'll just go back to Goodall. Let's touch on Goodall. He had last year off. The toll that this sport takes on his body is just brutal, and so he took a much-needed rest, but he's back with a vengeance this year, carrying this Victorian team through to the final series, and had an impressive win against New South Wales during the week as well, so he could hold the key for the Vics in this game.
Yeah, those opening round of pitches, they weren't far off the mark. Plenty of heat, just not quite finding the edges, but certainly enough to show that he's right in this game. We see Big J Rakic at the plate now. Looks to put the bunt down, not able to get it in the field of play on that occasion. Curve on the outside there. Pitch out. Catcher right on it, looking for the lead on the run at 1, but the runner held the base. Nice bunt. Corners come in, makes a play at 1. The lead runner advances. Goes for the double, doesn't get it on that occasion. But nice play all round.
Patterson under that tag. It was a close play. Shanahan transitioned very well, fired it across to shortstop. Looking for that double play, but a great bunt from Rakic, advancing Patterson to second. Runner in scoring position with just 1 out.
Yeah, he looks like the type of runner you want on base early too. He's showed plenty of wheels there, and as you said, getting under the tag. It's a great skills from our lead, Scott Patterson. And Brendan O'Byrne at the plate now for WA. It looks to clean up the coach down the foul ball over the third baseline there. Coach gets out of the way. Bit of a wry smile. He didn't miss him by much.
Yeah, Brendan O'Byrne just crunched that one. Just missing Neil Del Perro, legend of the game, Softball Australia Hall of Famer, Neil Del Perro.
He needed all his skills to get out of the way of that one, as we see O'Byrne refocus now. Puts that one through the alley there between 5 and 6. Runner comes round, scores the first run of the game, so a nice piece there by Brendan O'Byrne. Between that 5-6 channel into the outfield and a run scored. So a little bit different from the last game, early run in this one.
Yeah, we saw 5 scoreless innings before New South Wales got on the board. This time round, it's just 1 out into the game, and Brendan O'Byrne drives in the first run. He pulled an outside curve, as you said, in that 5-6 hole, and Patterson was not holding up. He scores from second, brings up Mark Harris. So back-to-back Aussie Steelers hitting 3 and 4 for the WA team.
So Mark Harris, a WA pitcher, up to bat now. Is that outside pitch again, looking for the runner. Wilson all over it. But the runner staying on one. No play to be made, so Harris back at the bait. There's a bunt put up. Well taken by Goodall. And an out made. So a great play from Goodall. Backs up his own pitch with a nice catch and the double play out at one. On that occasion not able to get under, and a great throw.
Yeah, Victoria getting out of a bit of a jam there. WA hitters looked right on top. Mark Harris trying to lay down a tricky running bunt, but popped up. He was angry at himself. He moaned and groaned as it popped up, and Goodall was good enough to get back, take a good catch and fire it across. Brendan O'Byrne in no man's land, and a double play to get out of that inning when they were threatening.
Not easy to do when it comes back at you like that, even though it popped up. Is it that little bit of a moment of shock where it's coming back at you? So you need to take it and then get it out of the glove and throw it cleanly, which he's able to do. So great skills from Goodall, and let's see what he can do in the second innings.
Yeah, we can go through the WA lineup. Mark Harris pitching to Jack Burt. First base is Sean Duxbury at second. Jay Rakic. Third base player is Nathan Brown. And at shortstop is Lewis Scaramella. Outfield for WA is Scott Patterson, Brendan O'Byrne. And we saw that the change was made at the plate. Kyle Francis over at right field.
So what can we expect from Harris here pitching for WA?
Well, intensity comes to mind. He puts everything into every pitch, and he has that hiss when he throws, and there's no holding back when it comes to Harris. So he'll probably throw as many strikeouts as he throws walks, but he has worked on his pitching a fair bit over the last few years and gained a little bit more control. And although he's the number one pitcher today, I wouldn't say that he's the number one pitcher out of WA at the moment. So just availability and injury has forced him to take on this role. And we've seen a couple of part-timers take the mound, but they can also go to Matt Beckett, who's probably ready to come in. Actually, he's in the OPO position.
Yeah, so there you go, that opening pitch. You hear the big hiss from Harris, but Ryan Sinclair, the lead-off for Victoria. They went to the inside on that occasion. Flies ball there.
Actually, I want to just correct myself and give him some props here. Mark Harris has thrown 16 innings for 26 strikeouts and just the 13 walks, so 2 strikeouts for every walk. So it's been a good tournament for him. He's 3.8 ERA, and he's been quite efficient, although at 59% strike percentage.
Just having a look at the intensity of his pitches, those 16 innings, they would have taken something out of him. He's every pitch so far has been 100%. The big hiss.
Yeah, he takes his time between pitches as well, just to gather some composure and just recharge the batteries a little bit. Because, like you said, it's going to take it out of him if he's going to go 7.
They weren't getting away on that occasion. Just the delivery didn't look right. It's a full count now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Sinclair has a big swing on that one, and Harris gets his man. The opening lead-off batter for Victoria retired. So now Ryan Shanahan up to the plate for the Victorians.
Yeah, that's a big out to get from Harris. Sinclair's been huge for the Victorian team, and one of the keys to their success so far this week. He's hitting .321 with a .585 on-base average against us. He just kept fouling the ball off, staying alive in the count, and so surprised to see him go down swinging on that occasion.
Some nice glove work from Jack Burt there. That ball with all the sting of the Harris pitch, nice and low in the dirt, but Burt was able to take it cleanly. There's a nice piece into centre field, deep into centre field, off the fence. Making the play at 2 is going to be close, but he gets under there. The ball just getting away from the second baseman.
Yeah, Rakic, playing second base for WA, got under his glove as Shanahan was coming in. Looked like that he bit off more than he could chew there, Shanahan, but a great shot. He's driven that one bounce into the fence. A legal pitch was the call, so I'm not sure what it was for. I'm sure the WA boys will be talking about why, but Shanahan getting himself into scoring position, and he's been pretty good for the Vics as well all week. One of the key players in the Vic lineup, and a welcome return as well. He's had a couple of years off nationals and brings Ricky Wheeler up to the plate.
So an illegal pitch call, but the runner remains on second on that occasion. And it was a nice play by the centre fielder. Let that ball come back off the fence the way he did, and got a nice throw in, just not able to get right into the glove of the second baseman there on that occasion.
And for those that don't know, the ones watching at home that don't know the illegal pitch rule, the batting team has the option, so if the ball gets safely into play, they can take the hit. Otherwise, if they get out, it's just a ball on the batter, and they get another life. Vics will be happy with the double, though.
I'm pretty sure they would be. As we see a nice big lead from that runner now in scoring position for the Victorians. They're behind that 1 run, so that's a very important position for the runner to be in out there on second base. That was a big piece, fouled away over the back of the net. There was some air in that one. Plenty of heat on the pitch, and the batter fouling it away behind the net.
Ricky Wheeler, an absolute veteran of this team. He would have been part of the Victorian dominance of the early 2000s. Back as a playing assistant coach this year.
Experience can count in situations like this. You see Wheeler just consult the umpire there for the call. 2 balls, 1 strike. The one gets away from the catcher there on that occasion. Burt recovers, but the runner advances now for Victoria.
Well, Shanahan needs to be wary of Jack Burt. He has got an absolute cannon from behind the plate. Seen him pick off a couple of runners already in this tournament, and likes to throw the ball around as well. So you don't want to take your chances on Burt behind the plate.
We see the Western Australian infield there coming around the pitcher there. That one gets away, but they come in and just get behind him a little bit and talk him around as Harris gets ready now. There's a nice comeback pitch.
Yeah, the veteran Wheeler just trying to angle that one right side, because anything to the right side of the diamond, even though the defence of Western Australia is in a little, will score that runner from third, and they're looking to tie the game up.
Big swing on that occasion. Gets the man. So Wheeler goes down swinging. It's tough to do to hit that off field when you've got a runner in that scoring position, but a man of Wheeler's experience, he knows the job, but on that occasion just wasn't able to get the bat to ball, and that brings up Lewis Weldon now.
Yeah, this is the number one guy for Victoria. 9 hits and 12 walks. You can see the respect that every team pays this guy. They try and throw around him as often as possible. 12 walks from 32 plate appearances is unbelievable.
Yeah, the man in the danger position. You see there working the outside of the plate, Harris. Looking to get him swinging. But Weldon, he's been here before. He knows what to do and lets that one go. So, battle of wits. So far, Weldon in front. Up and out of the zone there. Weldon just watches that one go by.
Well, gets behind in the count and shows that ultimate respect. Intentional walk to Weldon. He is the catcher, so we'll see a courtesy runner come in. Runners at the corners now for Victoria.
Yeah, it is a big sign of respect, isn't it, to call the intentional walk on Weldon. Being the batter he is, he'll take it, but he would have loved to have got a piece of the action, I think. So conference now, the WA team getting around the pitcher, Harris again. Got runners on the corners now, 1 and 3. Our first baseman, Sam Cassiano, up to bat.
Sam Cassiano's been out of this game as well for a couple of years. Just carrying a shoulder injury, and great to see him back. Captain the Junior Steelers at a Junior World Championship and a bronze medal year in Argentina, and just the leadership and experience that he can bring to this Victorian lineup is essential to their success.
Massively important, and in a situation like this, that's the experience you want at the plate. You see a big swing from Cassiano there.
Yeah, a couple of years off, and he's hitting 310, so he has not lost any of his abilities.
There's a big piece down the right foul line. Cassiano staying in the count. Real battle here. Tying run on third, go ahead run on first.
Yeah, behind in the count, killing that one last pitch off.
There's another piece, stays in the battle.
Not only has been key in the hitting lineup for the Victorians, but also at first base as well. Fielding 1,000. He's plenty of the play, and he's a great leader.
Another foul ball. So making contact, not quite getting the direction that he wanted, but he's still in the game.
Yeah, got that ability to kill off pitches until he gets the one that he likes. I wouldn't be surprised to see Harris so far ahead of the count, getting Cassiano to swing at the last few pitches and fouling it off, just to get this one right out of the zone, maybe even see a change of pace.
So there we go now. Oh, gets away from the third baseman under. So we have Shanahan scoring. So there's that experience Cassiano you talked about. Keeps it in the dirt, just gets away from that third base fielder there and scores that runner and advances the go-ahead run around now to the third base.
It was pretty well struck, but it probably came off the glove and in between the legs of the third base player, Brown. So it probably goes down as an error and quite costly for the Vics. For WA as the Vics tie the game. But 2 runners now in scoring position. We've got the courtesy runner Jason Crean and that man Cassiano in second base for John Hudson.
So Hudson up to bat now. 2 runners in scoring position. There's a piece.
This is going to score 2.
Score 2 runners. Great drive up the centre of the field there. Gets between that 4-6 channel on that occasion. Scores 2 runners, so Victoria going ahead. 3 runs to 1 now.
Yeah, Harris has been pretty good, but the Victorian hitters have stepped up. He's thrown 2 strikeouts, and maybe that intentional walk to Weldon's going to be costly.
So Glenn Rigg at the plate now for Victoria. Strike called.
Well, umpire Ryan Flesh gives them the outside of that edge there, and Glenn Rigg, the captain of the Victorian team, looking to keep the ball rolling.
Ball call on that occasion. Yeah, big confident loud call by the umpire there when they're calling the edges there. Leaves the fielding team in no doubt. Another strike there. Big swing from Rigg on that occasion. One ball, 2 strikes. Looking for the outside of the plate again. Doesn't get it on that occasion.
Yeah, the first one on the outside edge was a little higher than that one, which came through underneath the zone. Good confident call from umpire Ryan Flesh, the plate umpire.
2-2 the call. Harris will want his man with this pitch. And there it is, the big swing. So retires the Victorian team, but not before they take the lead. Lead 3-1 in that inning.
Well, huge inning for Victoria after they looked like Harris had control of the game in 2 big strikeouts. However, Ryan Shanahan's double earlier in the inning, one bouncing into the fence, cannoning into the fence, and then they gave up that intentional walk to Louis Weldon. Jason Crean come in as the courtesy runner with the 2 out, catch a speed up rule, and that man Cassiano was behind in the count, fouled a few off, and then found a gap that was between the legs of Brown, scoring the first run. That was Shanahan that crossed the plate. And then a great shot from John Hudson, another veteran in this Victorian lineup, previously of New South Wales. He even played a year at Northern Territory. Rocked a shot up the middle, a 2-run shot, and put the Vics up by 3-1.
Yeah, really worked the gap there on that occasion too. He found that what little space is available through the middle of the infield, and there was plenty on that hit. But we see the WR team back up the bat again with Kyle Francis.
First of the Bedford Boyos in the WA lineup. Bedford, one of the stronger WA club teams. Won a couple of big tournaments earlier, or middle of last year. Fremantle tournament and the Bayswater event. This guy is a key component of that unit.
Strike called there by umpire Ryan Flesh. Francis didn't want a piece of it. 1-1. There's a change-up pitch. Nice work. Didn't quite get a hold of it on that change. But nice catch by the shortstop.
Yeah, Glenn Rigg is just an absolute veteran at shortstop. Read the ball very well off the bat. Perhaps another time that one might have found the gap, but first out for WA and Sean Duxbury.
Nice opening pitch there by Goodall. Finds the outside corner for Duxbury. Up in the zone now, working all around that strike zone. Duxbury letting that one go on that occasion. Rise ball from Goodall. Not finding the mark. Change up and a nice call on the outside. Just clipping the right corner, that front corner, the right hand side there.
Pulled the string on that one. Great change of pace, and Goodall's one of the best at the change up.
Yeah, that was a good pitch too, right on the other side of the plate there. Jammed him up. Dead ball called, fouled into his own foot. There's Goodall working right around that plate. He's fairly rapid in his delivery too. He takes a stance and then just straight into the wind-up once he acknowledges that call.
Yeah, high quality performer, Goodall. He's former pitching award winner, took Victoria to the final in Perth in 2015, and just a pro. I love the steely look in the eyes as well. Most of the pitches this week have got that.
There's a rise ball getting away, but yeah, you're right. You can just see it in his eyes. He's every pitch, there's that concentration. He gets the call. And a big swing from Duxbury. Goodall gets his man on that occasion. You see the Victorians whip the ball around the infield. It's a big out.
Yeah, 2 quick outs. Just what the Vics would have wanted, as they took 3 in the first, and they really want to look to shut down the WA lineup. Jack Burt, the new hitter.
WA catch up to the plate now. See Goodall put down a nice early strike. Burt shakes their head. Looking for the outside of the plate there again. Goodall doesn't get it that time. You see the shake of the head from Burt. None of these batters, they're all fairly hard taskmasters on themselves. There's a big rip down the left field line, going foul, but that was deep.
Yeah, great piece of the ball, a little early on it, and that plays into the favour of the Victorian battery. Let's give some credit to Louis Weldon as well. Been used sparingly. Jaden Bamford's been doing the bulk of the work for the Vics this week. Behind the plate in the catching position.
So Goodall put deep on that previous pitch, so he went to the outside there. He left nothing for Burt. Burt let it go. Well, that one back in, just didn't quite get the mark. A little bit low. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And we had one down the middle called. Umpire Ryan Flesh. K2 for Burt.
Yeah, Goodall really dialed in now, back-to-back strikeouts. And they look like that they've got firm control of this game with all the momentum, although it was WA that struck first. But they'll get another chance through the top of their order coming up next inning. So don't shut them out just yet.
Victoria still with that 3-1 lead.
Just a slight delay in play as there's a little maintenance on the live stream camera. The glass, just a little shard of glass has broken from that, so that may cause a slight delay. Saw some lightning just then in the background as well, so
it's all happening.
It sure is.
Yeah, the pitch is coming to you here from Hawker ACT. It's a great camera angle, but unfortunately, when you set yourself up there, things like this can happen. But the safety of the players is paramount. And the glass has been removed, and we'll get the game back underway. Stephen Dawson will lead off the batting for Victoria in this inning. Harris is ready. Umpire calls play ball, so we're good to go. Stephen Dawson, the centre fielder. Strike called.
Harris right back to work. He just puts everything into it. I reckon his neck and his face are going red from how hard he's really working.
That was a nice pitch too. Dawson gets a piece of it and fouls it away. But that was a great pitch. Dawson had to get a piece of that one. I think Harris would sleep well at night. He doesn't leave anything in the tank by the look of him.
Looks like he always favours that right arm as well, that shoulder.
I'm getting away. Rise ball there. You see the shake of that right arm you're talking about, so maybe that extra effort is telling on him. Another piece fouled away. Heads called on the game taking place behind us. We said earlier the Under-15s Championships taking place here at the venue as well. It's been a fantastic week of softball. We look to wrap it up tomorrow. The Under-15s Regional Championships and the 36th Australian Men's Softball National Championships.
Yeah, and we've just seen the Victorian Under-15 boys join the crowd here to support their Open Men's team. They finished top in the Under-15, so good luck to those boys.
Yeah, good luck to the young fellas. Great camaraderie in the state. We see Dawson go down swinging. Geez, I know it's only a whip round on the infield, but you're right about Bert's arm there. That was a cannon. Look forward to seeing a run attempt. So George Samaras now up to the plate for Victoria. He really drops away on that delivery stride, doesn't he, Harris?
Yeah, we've seen a couple of pitches during the week that can slip over on their follow through, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see him hit the deck at some stage during the game.
There's a ground ball, little hot play to the shortstop. It makes a play out at one. Sees George Samaras go down.
Yeah, Scaramella's got a real good glove. He's the flex player in this game, so obviously in the lineup for his defensive capabilities and makes a good play there. Reasonably simple play, a nice one-hopper. So that's 2 out now, and that's actually the first out in the field for WA as well. 4 strikeouts for Harris. Back to the top of the order.
Yeah, Ryan Sinclair at bat now for Victoria. Big swing on that one. One fouled away down the first base line. Deep into the outfield, so getting some good contact, just not the direction they're after, the Victorian bats. One ball, 2 strikes. Harris ahead in the count here. Let's see if he makes Sinclair work in the batter's box. Nice pitch. Sinclair gets a piece. Stays in the game. One ball, 2 strikes. Big swing from Sinclair, goes down swinging. Harris gets his man, retires the Victorian team. They still lead 3-1. We'll see WA come out now and look to get right back in the game.
Yeah, both defenses settling a little bit now that they can sense the pace of the game, and 2 quick innings from both defenses. And Harris has 5 strikeouts from the 10 batters, so doing the bulk of the work himself there. Geez, he throws hard. It'd be interesting to see what their plan B is if the Vics continue to put the runs on the board. Don't really see too much action going on in either bullpen, so looks like the Vics are putting all their eggs in the Goodall basket, and Harris for the WA team. So
far Goodall's done the job. He's really backed it up here with some fantastic pitching, and like Harris, he doesn't leave anything in the tank. He's working hard out there. I'll just run through some of our supporters here that are helping us bring the tournament to you. Momentum Sports and Rehabilitation, the Tradies, the ACT Government, Pacific Facilities Group, ID Athletic, the Bent Spoke Brewing Company, Trophy Link, and YMCA Canberra. Great supporters of softball ACT, and we thank them for helping us bring this tournament to you. So we see Goodall deliver the first pitch to Beckett to open the WA inning. Right fielder Matthew Beckett for Western Australia now up to the plate. Will change from Goodall there. Not getting the mark on that occasion, but that was a nice pitch. Fastball first and then the change up. Inside rise ball there. Didn't quite get the man. Saw Beckett backing out.
yeah, getting back into the count after that big swing first up.
There's another big swing from Beckett. So Goodall right in control here. Really working Beckett around the zone. 2-2 the count. And there's a big piece right. And over we go. Deep into centre field. Just getting over the fence. And as we said earlier, it doesn't matter how far over it goes as long as it goes over.
Boy, oh boy, Beckett with a big cut there. It flies over the centre field fence. Didn't get under it. It was a line drive out there and brings WA back to 1 run deficit for the 9-hitter Nathan Brown. Well, just like that, they're right back in it.
So Goodall looked to be in control in that at-bat there for Beckett, but he was patient. He just waited on the pitch he wanted and was able to put it over the fence. So great batting from Beckett. And here we have Brown, as you said, up to the plate now. Holds that swing back there.
Interesting check swing, high hands when the ball was so low. So patiently watching this one, Brown.
Just missing on the inside, that one. 3 balls now, so Brown well ahead in the count. Let's see what Goodall does now. Yeah, Brown gets the call he was after.
An uncharacteristic full ball walk for Goodall.
They weren't missing by much. But just like those home runs, doesn't matter how much they miss by. If they miss, they miss.
Well, no outs, and WA go back to the top of the order for Patterson.
So Brown, the runner, on first base. We've got Scott Patterson up at the plate for WA. The one in the dirt, well gloved by the catcher, Weldon. Holds the runner at 1.
Patterson might look to make Victoria pay after walking Brown, who's only had the 1 hit so far for the tournament. So back around to the top. Patterson, who also walked his first turn up to bat.
That one getting away from the catcher on that occasion, so Brown advances now into a scoring position.
Was as comfortable as Goodall looked in the last inning. He's back around for a second time through the WA lineup, and there's action in the Vic bullpen. Anthony Battridge, who's shared the load with Goodall this week, is starting to roll the arm over.
Well, Goodall's still right in the game here. I think if he can go...
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I wouldn't take him out of the game at this point, and I'd probably ride him as long as possible, and high quality pitcher.
That was a nice pitch. Popped up into centre field. Centre fielder gets under it. The runner doesn't advance. Holds the runner well, so well done there to the Victorian fielders. Good defence.
Yeah, Steve Dawson's a quality player, and he read that one well and got himself into a good throwing position. If Brown had taken off, he would have had a play at third, but Brown, thinking wisely of it, just holds up at second.
He did get under it very nicely, didn't he? Gave himself plenty of time to get into that position to release the ball quickly. So, yeah, great centre fielding by the Victorian player.
Jay Rakic up to bat, sacrifice bunt. First time up to bat. Shows bunt again.
There's a big swing there. He's not bunting on that occasion. Unfortunately, wasn't able to make contact. Brown stays out there at second. Not much of a lead. One high out of the zone, let go by Rakic. Big piece again into the outfield. Right fielder gets underneath it. Once again gets himself in a great position and holds Brown at second, so no advancement of the runner. Yeah,
Ricky Wheeler did a great job there. Moved across to the ball, and credit to Stephen Dawson at centre field. He left it for Wheeler because Wheeler had the better run at the ball and could have got off a throw should the runner have taken off from second. Whereas if Dawson had taken that one, all his momentum going towards right field, and he would have had to stop and turn to make a throw, and perhaps even given up a base to the WA runner in Brown.
We talked about the communication in the outfield in that the previous game, and that again showed the importance. You said there, the team within a team, the outfielders working together on that occasion. As we see now, Brendan O'Byrne at the plate for the WA team. Brown still the runner on second.
Well, he's the man that did the damage in the first inning with that RBI single to left field.
He's chatty in the box too, talking to the catcher there. I saw that in his first at bat. A rise ball from Goodall, way out of the zone on that occasion. O'Byrne lets that one go.
Yeah, too good a hitter to be fooled on that up ball. And you mentioned before that he was communicating with catcher Weldon. He's always after feedback. He'll talk to the umpire if the ball's in or around the zone.
He lets that one go too. A little shake of the head there. It's a great way to stay in the game. Just be involved and just check with the people around you, whether they're your opposition, the umpire, or your teammates. Let the opposition know you're thinking about it as well. Low and on the inside, gets a walk. He doesn't like it. He wanted a piece of that one. So O'Byrne will take the walk.
Well, I'm not too sure what he's disappointed about. Another runner on base. He represents the go-ahead run. So one swing of the bat, and he could be the go-ahead run. So don't know why he's too disappointed about that. We've seen 2 walks this inning from Goodall, both 4-ball walks.
So the pitcher Mark Harris at the plate now. A little bit longer now in this one. A bit more importance on this pitch. There's a piece. Short fielder makes the play. Gets that lead runner out and retires the Western Australian team. So no damage done. Brown was out there a long time as a runner and unable to score for his team. So 3-2, the score remains Victoria leading WA.
Yeah, that inning was highlighted by the big Matthew Beckett home run to bring WA back within a run. Their completed third inning is 2 runs on the board, but you know, a couple of 4-ball walks, and WA did threaten. But Joel Goodall stood up and got a couple of cheap outs, a fly ball to centre, a fly ball to right, and then that ground out. Glenn Rigg at shortstop is key. The momentum took him to his glove side, and he played the lead runner at third, so almost out of jail really with the runner on with no outs after they gave up that home run. So Victoria arrest the momentum that WA had there, and they'll go back to their 2-hitter and Ryan Shanahan to lead things off in the bottom half of the third inning.
Yeah, the second of the Ryans in order here for the Victorian lineup, Ryan Shanahan. He'll look to extend the lead for his team in the lead-off position. Just watching Harris go through that warm-up there as you were talking, he hasn't left anything on the bench. He's still throwing as hard as he can. The WA team ready to go. Shanahan takes his position at the plate. The hiss sees the ball go inside there. Shanahan lets it go low and on the inside. Straight down the middle on that one. Shanahan letting it go on that occasion. Harris gets the call. Again, a little shake of the right arm. He's showing some effects. Another nice pitch called by Ryan Flesch. Shanahan behind in the count now. 2 great pitches down the middle by Harris. On ball, 2 strikes. Looks to go outside there with the rise, but unlucky he doesn't get that on that occasion, Harris. That hasn't worked for him so far.
Yeah, I was just about to say, he's missed a couple of those curveballs off the plate that have hit the back net on the full. Fortunately for Harris, there's been no runners on at the time.
There was a big swing from Shanahan. Harris gets his man on that occasion. So working in the outside there, but then bringing it back in. And Shanahan thought it was his ball, but Harris puts it past him.
6th strikeout of the game, and that was a big one for Harris because he would have known that Shanahan was the man that hit that double to the fence to get things going for the Vics in the first, that big 3-run inning.
Ricky Wheeler with a big swing to open his account.
I mentioned before that Ricky Wheeler are part of that dominant era of Victorian softball off the back of the names like Kiefel and Maisie, and
check swing on that occasion. Looking for the call.
4 titles in 7 years in the early 2000s, and WA also a proud state. There's won 11 titles in the John Reed Shield, including the first 5, last one in 2010. So
yeah, great history for the state, and as you said, Wheeler's been a part of that. Two balls, 1 strike, so ahead in the count here. Wheeler has an opportunity. See what Harris can do for WA. The piece down the third baseline. We see a little bit of rain coming in now. We had storms hanging around earlier on, and this rain's getting a little bit heavier. No storm activity to speak of, but we'll keep an eye on the weather. There's one popped up. right fielder coming around, getting underneath it, makes the out. Again, the centre field you can see there in the background coming around for cover. But letting the right fielder take it, coming straight into that hit. So another out for Western Australia.
Yeah, Kyle Francis making up some good ground. He's back deep on the fence. 2 quick outs for the Vics, but it brings up the big 4 hitter, Lewis Weldon. Intentionally walked his first time up to bat.
A nice pitch straight down the middle there. Good speed from Harris. So, one in the zone for Weldon. He lets it go.
Yeah, with no runners on, expect to see Harris attack Weldon.
Another nice pitch. Weldon looking for that one there, but chose to keep the gun in the holster. Yeah, only 1 run in front, no runners on. Harris will look to take it to Weldon here. Oh, nice change of speed there.
And a big swing and a miss from Weldon. Eyes lit up on that one and rush of blood. Big cut at the ball.
Takes a step away to regain his composure, but he knew he lost an opportunity there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Count the way of Harris. And a nice pitch, swing and a miss. Get the man that he wanted.
How pumped was Harris?
He's got the strut. That's a big out for him. You can see how much it meant to him there. We talked about taking him on, but to defeat him, that's a whole different story as he struts off and takes the high fives from his teammates from a job well done.
The K2 counts up to 7 now for Harris, and only the 1 walk, which was intentional, so he's really shown me up after my comment earlier in the game. But
well, that's their job, I guess. They get out there, they bring it, and I'm sure somebody at home was watching the live stream and relayed it to him on the bench. But there was activity in the bullpen for the Vics, but we see Goodall remains out there on the mound, so no damage done from that previous innings, and Goodall will stay in the game.
Yeah, Goodall's their horse, and he'll do the bulk of the work and the lion's share. And I'd say that they'll only look to Battrich if WA get a hold of him and maybe give up the lead. I think Goodall's a great pitcher to be a front runner for the Vics, and I'd back him the whole way through if it's a tight game.
A nice insight there from my co-commentator. He's been playing in the championships for South Australia, so he certainly knows what he's talking about. And it's great to have that perspective from a player who's been playing against these guys and facing these pitches, so he knows what it's all about. So we see Goodall getting ready to open the inning.
I had the privilege of catching to Joel in a tournament in Tasmania a couple of years ago, and the guy's just a pro. Everything into it and shoulders the load as well, and just a quality person as well as a quality player.
Well, you could see in that earlier innings, even when he got a little bit behind, he didn't lose composure. He just kept his head in the game and went back to what he knows what to do. So that's a sign of a great pitcher.
Gets ahead of the count here on Kyle Francis.
Big right fielder for WA there. Goes to check that one, gets a foul tip on it. Was caught between a rock and a hard place there, Francis. He was lucky to get some contact on that one and stay in the count. So we have 1 ball, 2 strikes. High on the outside there. Goodall just looking to make Francis make a decision. It's a 2-2 now. Goodall still in front. Oh, comebacker. Anyone might have taken a bit out of Goodall there.
Yeah, plenty happening on that play. A line drive straight back to the pitcher. Wasn't able to complete the catch. I'm not sure if it deflected off his glove, but it has hit him in the leg. He's up and he's walking around. Had to rush the throw a little bit as Francis took off on the piece of the ball, and the ball gets away from first base player Cassiano. Coach Aiken just double checking on his pitcher, as is the whole entire Victorian defence. Obstruction on the call as well, as Francis turns first and gets across to second base. So lead-off man in scoring position. He is, or was, started the game as the DP, and so they're going to go to their bench and bring in a courtesy runner. Scaramella, it is the man. So the flex comes into the game, and WA go down to 9 players. Probably see a re-entry as well. That's the flexibility of that rule.
So we have Duxbury at the plate now. Sean Duxbury for WA. Looking nice and relaxed in the box.
Yeah, it's pretty different to most of the other batters in this tournament. He's right up the front of the box. Most of the other batters you see in this tournament are right at the back. There is a massive hole in the back of the box, so maybe he just likes to stand on flat ground.
Yeah, it could be. He could also be making the pitcher do the work early. And got that tying run on second base, so it's a pretty important position he's in. Comes back in the box a little bit now. And Goodall gets him swinging, so a nice comeback from Goodall. Would have been a bit shaken up from that last play. That ball definitely made some pretty solid connection on his leg there. But he's not showing any signs. A check. Doesn't make it from Duxbury. And Goodall gets his man, so a nice comeback from Goodall.
Yeah, Duxbury started to walk. He knew that one was there, and Goodall getting that first out, sharing a joke with first base player Sam Cassiano. So good to see that they're relaxed and they can take that hard focus away from the game.
So it brings up to the plate the catcher Jack Burt there, as we see the coach Del Perro come down and just have a bit of a chat with the umpire Ryan Flesher about that last call. Gives a nod and walks back to his mark and sees Burt take up his position in the box. And a nice change up there to open the account.
I love that change up of Goodall.
Pretty to watch.
Yeah, and the seams of the ball, just a drop rotation, but it's in slow motion. It's so good.
Another nice pitch, so that's 2 his way. Really ahead in this count. Burt swatting away flies that I'm not sure whether they were there or not, if it's just a way for him to regain his composure.
So far, 2 perfectly executed pitches, 1 change up and then that one on the outside edge.
Goes back to the inside. And one just getting away from Weldon, the catcher. And the runner advances now to third.
Scaramella just making Weldon pay for that one. It was just got away from him a little bit, but wasn't that far away. So really took advantage of that. Great speed. And we know that speed can win games and championships. We saw the 2009 Aussie Steelers.
It's a nice piece down the middle of the field there. He finds that gap between 4 and 6. Scores the runner. So Scaramella does the job for his team. He's taken out there as a courtesy runner. He scores. Burt makes his way safely to first base with a nice drive down the centre of the infield and picks the gap nicely.
Yeah, Burt ties the game there with that single. I was just saying that speed can kill. In 2009, the Aussie Steelers had twice the amount of stolen bases as any other team at that championship, and Scaramella got himself into a scoring position and easily scores on that signal.
So Matthew Beckett back up to the plate now for the WA team with Burt on first. He's the go-ahead runner. So they'll look to advance him if they can. Only one out in this inning so far, so Burt on first base is in a very important position. Nice delivery from Goodall. Sees that one rise late. Beckett swings. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
We saw Beckett home at his first time with 2 strikes. Fouls this one off, and Weldon wears that one.
Yeah, foul tip there from Beckett. And as you said, sees Weldon wear it, but he's not going to give anything away either. Could have hurt or may not have. You'll never know.
7, 8, 9 hitters for WA have already played roles in this game so far. We see Burt just previously an RBI single, Beckett a home run, and Brown a walk. And they're the outs that you probably look to bank on, and Goodall probably be looking to attack these bottom 3 hitters, but they've done a great job so far for WA.
They weren't getting away from the catcher Weldon, but he kept it in front there, and then went for the check swing call too. Didn't get it his way. A nice rise ball there, but doesn't find the mark. Full count now, Beckett. 3 balls, 2 strikes for Matthew Beckett. Finds a shortstop who makes the play, the lead runner. So Burt retires with Beckett on 1. So great fielding by Rigg there. It was a difficult one to take. He had to move right across to his right to take it and turn and get that throw. So well done.
Absolutely unreal play from Rigg there. Takes a tough one in the 5-6 hole, a backhand play. Gets his balance and fires it across to Shanahan at second for the force out, and the second out. Courtesy runner will be Matthew Beckett for Jack Burt with the 2-out catcher speed up rule.
The players from both teams really displaying some fantastic athleticism in this game. That's a great play by Rigg. Nice rise pitch again. Goodall finding it, but Rigg just getting a little bit of contact.
Well, Brown up to bat, didn't take his bat off his shoulder his first turn up to bat. Goodall goes hard and up first pitch, and he swings. It gets him swinging on a foul ball.
Yeah, Brown left stranded in that last innings. He'll want to get back out there, but this stage, Goodall's ahead in the count now. No balls, 2 strikes, so it's all to do for Brown on this occasion. He stays in with another foul piece.
That curveball catching the outside edge. Brown having to reach full extension for that one. Just fouls it off.
It was a great pitch, and I think Brown did extremely well to get a piece of it. Yeah, high on the outside. This time Weldon looking for the play at 1. The runner not taking the lead on that occasion. You talked about Burt as a catcher in that earlier inning, but Weldon, he's a bigger man, but shows some great athleticism too. Get up into a throwing position very quickly.
Yeah, good agility from the big guy. Can play just about any position. He's played a lot at centre field this tournament. We've seen him at first. He can pitch as well.
The all-rounder.
Oh, that was close.
Full count now, so Goodall was ahead 0-2. It's now 3-2. Brown goes for a piece of that one.
Yeah, we just saw Beckett, the runner. He'll go on the pitch. It's a full count with 2 out, so automatic steal for this runner. Brown fouls this one off and stays alive in the count.
He had to make a piece of that one. It was another good pitch, so Brown up to it. And again. So the last time we saw this was when Cassiano fouled a few away and then got the one he wanted. Was able to score some runs for his team. So let's see if Brown can do that for the WA team. Strike call. Brown thought that one was outside. Looks back. The umpire's not changing his mind, and the call remains. So that retires the WA team. Great comeback from Goodall.
What I've liked from the Victorian defence is, although WA players look like they're getting on top, the Vics just seem to stand up. It's like they're challenged and they step up. They've given up 3 all single runs in the first, third and fourth inning, but they've always seemed to get themselves out of a jam. What they've got to do is stop that first run from scoring, and because they're just bleeding runs a little bit, whereas they put the 3 on in the first inning. Now they've got to get a runner on and bring him home to try and get that lead back.
Yeah, we are tied up 3-3, but as you said there, Victoria scored all their runs in that first inning. WA have just chipped away at it. That last inning there, we saw that one come back at Goodall. That was a difficult play, but he rushed the throw and, paid the price, I guess, and a run was scored against him. But he dug himself out of it, came back, and we were tied up. So not a hell of a lot of damage done. I can see some movement in the bullpen for the Vics between innings, so we might see a change in this next.
Yeah, Goodall dug deep and got his 4th strikeout for that 3rd out of the 4th inning, 4th strikeout of the game. Good pedigree from the Goodall family, a fellow commentator in Victoria, Shane Goodall, also a player. And
the Harris starts this innings with a strike for Cassiano, who we just spoke about. Is that drop away from Harris again? I think you might be right. We're going to see him hit the dirt at some stage.
Well, now he's starting to throw in that change up a little bit, so he's going to his bag of tricks just to mix it up a bit.
Plenty of speed on that one, not finding the mark.
But also not at his top pace either.
Yeah, nice comeback pitch, that one. Harris going through the motions there as he comes back into his mark. Just visualising the pitch he's going to throw here. Good job he did too.
That man again, Cassiano, just staying alive in the count, fouling that one off.
We've seen he's done it before. It's a good skill in itself. Be able to stay in the count the way he has, just getting that contact. A little chopper called foul down the third baseline there. Brown just going for the play, getting away and nearly collecting the runner in the back of the head. A groan from the crowd, but no damage done. Cassiano comes back. I really like Harris's swag. He's got a bit of a strut out there in the middle. Confident young man. Steps away there, wasn't happy with that one. Yeah, nice piece. Gets through that gap between first and second baseman. So Cassiano again shows the importance of staying in the count with those foul balls, picking the right one and getting himself on the base.
Does it again. He only had the 3 strikeouts for the whole tournament out of 35 plate appearances. Got behind in the count both turns of bat so far tonight, and he's got on base both times for the Vics.
He's now the go-ahead runner. He's out there on first base. John Hudson up to the plate, gives his man some cover. Check called, not given, so call remains a ball by the way of favour of Hudson.
Yeah, Hudson got a great shot up the middle. His first turn at bat that scored 2 runs. Slightly different situation though this time with just the runner on first and none out.
A big lead from Cassiano, but no cover around that time, so just makes his way back to 1. No real pressure on the runner in that situation.
Coach Aiken going through the signals, and Hudson may have a job to do here.
So Harris following up his pitch here, makes a tag, the bunt advancing the runner on that occasion. So a sacrifice bunt for Hudson. Puts it back to the pitcher, makes a tag play, and wasn't able to get around for the double at 2. So the runner advances. That's the go-ahead runner in Cassiano.
Well, how good was the WA defence then? All players moved to the right position. We saw the corners come in. We saw Jack Burt, the catcher, cover third base, and tag made by the pitcher. So a good play all round for WA, and John Hudson executes the sacrifice bunt.
Nice pitch on the outside corner there.
Generous outside edge, I thought, but round the mark.
Again, a confident call from umpire Ryan Flesh as we see Rigg take up his stance again at the batter's box. Checks the swing on that occasion, doesn't go around. Cassiano eager to get off that base. He wants to come all the way around, so looking for Rigg to advance him again. High pitch let go by Rigg. Two balls, one strike. Vocal crowd here tonight. A lot of support for the Victorians. You see Rigg get ready now. The piece deep into centre field, getting back underneath it, right at the fence. Doesn't quite collect it. We see Cassiano hold it third. So Rigg advances his runner one base. That one just getting away on the fence from that fielder, but he did well to hold the runner.
Well, Brendan O'Byrne's misread that one. It was a moonshot. It went out of the lights and might have made it hard for him to read, and then he's backing back onto the fence, and so he might have had that in the back of his mind as well, but it's bounced just short of the fence here. It's 250 foot here at Hawker. It's probably got about 249. Glenn Rigg standing aboard at second. Sammy Cass on third. 2 runners in scoring position for Stephen Dawson.
Stephen Dawson with it all to do now. Those 2 runners. Only one dead. Harris gets it. Goes on the inside and Burt just gets that one right on the tip of the glove. Wasn't quite sure where it was, but it was just at his feet, so no damage done. And again, that respect you talked about for Burt. Cassiano didn't do much on the base there.
Called strike. There's a little bit of added pressure now with 2 runners in scoring position and only 1 out, because we've seen Harris go to the back net a couple of times already in this game. So Burt would really be feeling a little bit right now.
Absolutely right. You see Harris in the wind-up.
Great change of pace.
Great change of pace on that occasion. You see him fall away after the delivery again. But a fantastic change-up. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Dawson behind in the count here. Harris has got a little bit to play with. Let's see what he delivers. Oh, great pitch.
That's Steve Dawson's second strikeout, and gee, Harris racking him up now. He's on about 8 or 9 now.
That was a tough position for Harris to be in there with those runners on second and third, but he did fantastically, I thought, there. That last pitch was at the top of his speed, but delivered really well. This one deep into right field now. And the call from the right fielder, stay away, as they do. So no damage done. Runners on 2 and 3, they remain out there. So WA, with Harris throwing some good speed, stay right in the game.
Harris 8 strikeouts now, so he's leading the way for the WA boys. Interestingly enough, the score is tied 3-all after 4 innings. Both teams been through the lineup twice, 18 batters apiece. There's nothing in this game at the moment.
And that's a real reflection on their earlier round games too. Only 1 run in each game, as we said. They have 1 each, and both games going the distance. So it is a real tight matchup here between Victoria and WA.
Harris.
I was just going to say, we see Goodall still out there pitching for Victoria, so that movement we saw between innings hasn't amounted to anything. Goodall stays at the plate.
Well, it just shows that Battrich is ready to go. Harris threw the win in the first round against these two teams, 5-4. Battrich contributed in that game, which Louis Weldon also threw in the big 9-8 win. So we know that both teams can score runs.
So the formulas worked before. We might have a look at that one, revisit it again. Victoria, as we see Goodall.
Game's original leadoff hitter is Scott Patterson.
Check swing called by the umpire. Strike. 1-1 now. Wasn't able to quite keep that one in the holster. The umpire calling. One nice rise ball up in the zone, but Patterson just getting a piece of it, just enough.
Yeah, another check swing, keeping himself in the count, getting some bat on ball. He is behind in the count, but don't doubt this guy's ability.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Yeah, really got a piece of that one. It was almost a hook shot. Again, high in the zone. He stayed in the game with a really good piece, just not able to get it out into the field of play. Change of speed from Goodall there.
Patterson just toiling away. He's swung at a high one to remain in the count with a foul ball. He swung at a low one or a change of pace to foul it off and stay in the count. Rarely walks, but rarely strikes out. Hands up the grip a little bit as well for a more controlled swing.
Gets a piece straight back past Goodall, but cleaned up. Yeah, nice work all around. Cleaned up by the shortstop. Gets the throw over. And our first baseman had to dig that one out of the dirt. Not easy to do, but they get their man.
Another great play from Rigg. A play up middle, a slow roller that had so much pressure because that runner Patterson, the batter Patterson, is a fast runner as well. So great play from the Vic defence.
A lot to do from Sam Cassiano there on first base. We've seen him at bat, but showing great skills there with the glove on one. See Rakic up in the box now for the WA team.
Rakic, a sacked bun and a fly ball to right field so far in this game.
A few flies coming around, or some flying insects at least. Rakic not happy. They're right up in his face. Quite animated. There's a big piece there, driven down the third base line. Goes foul. Didn't quite get the meat of the bat. He looks like a powerful hitter. See what he can do here for his team.
Yeah, he's carrying a slight rib injury from what I'm led to believe. He's batting in the 2 position tonight, but I would say that that's on reputation alone. I mean, it's not his best tournament, but he's capable. So reputation is preceding him at the moment.
Three balls, 1 strike, so he's ahead in the count here. Goodall has to get one back. So Rakic again fouls it away. Not quite getting the contact he needs.
You never count him out because he is a quality hitter. Part of the WA championship winning team in 2010.
Call from his teammates, ballpark. Put it out into the ballpark. Let's see what he does here. Oh, gets hit. Gets hit on the lead hand there.
Vic Battery just asking the question if it was on the swing or not, and Rakic will get free pass up to first base. He'll have to shake that one off.
It didn't tickle. You could see the immediate reaction. Just getting checked out by the coach here. Rakic shakes it off. Waves the umpire away. Let's get this game underway. He wants to score a run for his team. Very animated player, yet Rakic. So it's O'Byrne up to bat now for Western Australia. Attempted change up, gets away from Weldon. Rakic advances. Still grimacing as he gets to second base.
As you said, an animated player, probably milking it for as much as it's worth as he arrives at second. He's always got something to say as well, so he can get in your head on occasions, Rakic, but hustled up to the second base real quick then. It didn't get too far away from Weldon. Brendan O'Byrne up to bat and taking his time. So now we saw this at the earlier game. The pitcher needs to go through a pattern now because that runner at second can communicate what the signals are. So O'Byrne just pulls out there to give himself some time and composure.
A nice pitch. Big swing from O'Byrne. The rise ball there. Gets him swinging.
He's been good so far for his team so far this game. O'Byrne, an RBI single in the first, scoring the first run of the game, and then a walk. He got that 4-ball walk that he was a little bit disgusted about, if you remember.
I do remember the big shake of the head and the mutterance under his breath as he made his way to one. Here goes this conference again, the communication between the pitcher and the catcher. Who controls that there? We see the... it looked there that the catcher acknowledged what the pitcher said.
Yeah, probably just communicating a couple of things. One, can the pitcher see the signals? It's dark, so there'll be shadows now where the fingers are. Two, are they on the same page with what the code is that they're giving to one another? And then three, he might have just been asking him, what pitch do you want to throw? Because he could just be asking him, you know, you're up on the count, what do you want to throw to this guy?
Well, there was a slightly longer delay even just prior to the delivery of that pitch after the conference. They were still sorting each other out. We see here the glare. You could be right. Again, a longer... Oh, change up. Popped up now. Second baseman gets around underneath it.
Well, that was a great battle, an intriguing battle between pitcher and batter. And it was Goodall that won out this time round. Change of pace on the inside, jamming up the batter, as you said. It's off the end of the handle, and Shanahan at second base takes a comfortable catch.
Yeah, just got underneath it quietly, called everybody off at Shanahan, and took the easy catch. Now friend Rakic remains out there on second base. We see Harris at the plate now for Western Australia.
That one just missing the spot. The no call from Harris, but it goes through the zone for a called strike. Weldon just caught out because it did miss the spot, but fortunately for Victoria, Rakic couldn't take advantage.
Just kept it in front of him too, which always brings that little element of doubt in the eyes of the runner. So, marks to Weldon on that occasion.
Harris with a pop-up bunt in the first inning, and then a fielder's choice from Glenn Rigg. He made that great backhand play.
Call shaken off there by Goodall on that occasion. Another one into the right field. This one might be just into the gap, and it is. So Rakic scores a run. We find the runner in the run-down play now. And the tag was made, so just getting caught in no man's land after a nice throw in from the right fielder. But we scored the run, so Western Australia take the lead, 4-3.
Yeah, didn't get all of it, but it pays off on this occasion. An RBI single will go in the book there for Harris. The right fielder was in no man's land, really. It was deep, fielding deep, looking for that long ball.
It's almost like he lost it in the lights there. His first movement was back a little bit, then he had to come in. We saw the second baseman backing out there too, but just finding that hole. Like you said, not quite the piece, but enough to find that gap.
Yeah, Rakic can score easily from second on that one as well. Wheeler was fielding back a bit. The ball just pops up at Little Texas Liga. Rakic takes off on the pitch and scores, but Harris probably got the rush of blood again as he turns aggressively at first and gets caught in a rundown play, and that'll be the third out of the fifth inning, but not before he scores that go-ahead run.
Yeah, kick of the dirt as he come off. He wasn't happy with himself, but he scored the runner. And WA at the top of the fifth lead 4-3. And Harris still on the mound for WA.
Well, the hit by pitch is costly for Goodall on that occasion. Was ahead of the count on Rakic and tried to bust him inside, and it got him on the hand. Runner gets aboard, advances on a pass ball, and then scores on a Texas Liga. So no luck for Victoria in that inning, but only the 4 batters. So you'd say that Goodall's probably still the man for Victoria as we go to the last couple of innings. They get a chance here at the top of the lineup, and Ryan Sinclair here in the bottom of the fifth.
So Coach Del Perro just talking to the umpire here for some changes. So top of the fifth, WA lead 4-3.
So the change that Del Perro made is just re-entering the designated player back into the game. So we saw that he got on base, and they brought the flex player in, Scaramella, to run. So they went down to 9 again, but then they just re-enter Francis at right field.
And Ryan Sinclair at bat for Victoria. Puts that one back at Harris at the pitching plate, and he throws out at one. Nice reach by the first baseman for WA.
Harris has had Sinclair's number the whole game. 2 strikeouts and a ground ball straight back to the pitcher. Harris didn't have to rush that play and gets the ball across for the first out. Look at him labouring. He really is reaching for some extra energy from somewhere. He's taking his time between pitches.
Yeah, the time between pitches has certainly slowed down throughout the game, and you're right, he does favour that right hand after every couple of pitches. So a little bit of fatigue showing. Big swing from Shanahan on that occasion.
Shanahan already with 1 hit in this game. It was a double to centre field in the first inning.
He's been busy in the field as well, so he's really contributed. But Victoria need him here. He stays in the game there, just fouls that one away. Goes through the play in his mind. Talks to himself, gives a delivery. It's a real battle of wits, isn't it, between the pitcher and the batter. Neither of them are ever very happy with themselves.
Yeah, both of them wanting to win this battle for their team. They're both feeling the pressure.
And nice pitch. Not quite finding the mark there. Saw that one a little bit high and just on the outside. Full count now for Shanahan. 3-2. Big swing. Harris gets his man on that occasion.
Yeah, the emotions are starting to show now, and that is because there's so much to play for. A spot in the preliminary final tomorrow morning against the ACT. I can see some of the ACT players still in the crowd. Keeping an eye on this game, seeing how it's going. Ricky Wheeler up to bat. Third time round now for Victoria.
Oi. Wheeler finds himself in the dirt. They're just trying to get away from that one on the inside. Regains his composure. Back up. Strike called on the outside. Great pitch. One side of the plate to the other, really making Ricky think here. Chose to let that one go, but it was costly. And another nice comeback pitch. Down and on the inside that time. Had Ricky swinging. A 1 ball, 2 strikes. And there's that one getting away again, looking for the rise on the outside or the curve.
Well, Harris
Not
only
quite
really
working.
ever seems to go to that pitch when there's no runners on, and that's probably the reason why. It's the third one we've seen in the back net.
They're working hard here, Harris, in this at-bat. There's a change-up. Wheeler right onto that one. Was able to hold back just enough to make contact.
What I've noticed here is that the WA centre fielder, Brendan O'Byrne, is basically standing on the fence. There's no room at all behind him, so if one goes over his head, it's going over as a no-doubter, and that's the ultimate respect to this hitter in Wheeler.
And nice pitching from Harris. Gets him on the inside again, so Wheeler was swinging all the way around that one. It's a great job from Harris. He's really stuck in this game.
Yeah, Harris cut him in half with that pitch on the inside. That was his 10th strikeout for the game in 5 innings, so he's doing the bulk of the defensive work for WA, whereas we've seen that Victoria's sharing around a little bit more. And wow, WA, that 1-run buffer as we head into the 6th inning.
And Goodall's back out. So again, no real change. And you spoke about the experience of Goodall, and that's a respect to that experience that he's remained out there. He was able to regain composure from some of those little earlier errors, and he's still right in the game.
Well, WA really going about it well as they've had a couple of innings, like quick innings, like a 3-batter inning and 2 4-batter innings, but they've been able to score on those 4-batter innings. So really taking full advantage of their opportunities, and that's what's got them in front in this game. They've really been able to ground it out and score those 1-run innings in 4 of the 5 played so far.
A fantastic effort. So we've got Kyle Francis up now for WA. Fouls the first one away. So again, WA protecting that 1-run lead, 4-3 they lead. Top of the 6th. Just the 1 run in it. Goodall. He wants 3 up, 3 down on this occasion. There's a good piece. Just knocked up from the third baseman, not able to make the play.
Well, plenty happening on that play. Sinclair tries to get across and shut that gate there in the 5-6 hole. Ricochets off him, goes towards Shanahan at second, who still tries to fire a play off, and then the ball gets away from first base, Cassiano. Francis was already aboard safely, and the leadoff man on for WA.
Unfortunately there, as he went across, we saw Rigg coming back the other way in cover, and when he knocked the ball back to the infield, that's where Rigg would have been standing. So the anticipation and the coverage of the defence just not working on that occasion. You see the coach come out. So there's the change we've been talking about. Goodall's done the job.
That's actually a bit of a surprise for me because Batrich wasn't ready to come out. Goodall didn't even look like that he knew that he was coming out of the game just yet, and a snap call from the Victorian head coach Aiken as Patrick starts to come out to the mound. He'll get his 5 warm-up pitches, but look, I couldn't see too much what was going wrong with Goodall on that occasion. Maybe they're giving him a spell, an extended rest. They can go back to him.
Yeah, well, there was no movement in between innings there with Batrich, and as you said, it didn't look like he was ready on the bench either. So, yeah, a bit of a surprise call.
Batrich's actually done really well so far this tournament. He's shared the load with Goodall with 23 innings apiece. But Batrich has actually thrown more strikeouts, 31 strikeouts, similar amount of walks, 8 walks for Batrich, 7 for Goodall, but it's Batrich that's actually leading with a lower ERA of 3.043. So they don't really lose too much. It's a different looking pitcher than Goodall, so maybe just looking to switch things up a little bit and try and shut the WA team down.
Very different delivery, and it looked to be a little bit more express. Is that how you see it?
It probably goes to the up ball a little bit more than Goodall as his go-to pitch, but from what I've seen so far in this tournament, he can really get the job done and contributed in both games against WA in the rounds and including getting that win just was it last night maybe in the 9-8 game. So Victoria going to the well and putting their chips on Batrich.
And we see a result straight away there with a attempted bunt popped up for that man Batrich to field his own play. So a result could be a masterstroke from the coach.
Yeah, Batrich is actually part of the Australian Defence Force softball team as well, so plenty of representative experience. Played in the Skins tournament last December, and it's the first time I've seen him in a few years playing softball.
So Bird up at the plate now for WA as that first one gets away from Batrich. Still have the runner on first base. A nice pitch from Batrich there. Bert letting that one go straight down the middle. Nice work from Batrich. And a big swing and a miss. There's that rise ball you talked about. One ball, 2 strikes. Batrich ahead in the count now. Bert with it all to do. Runner on 1. Yeah, got him. Got him standing. Well done from Batrich.
Yeah, it's that different approach that you mentioned before, Adam, that got the strikeout there for Batrich. So 2 quick outs and the runner still on first base for Matthew Beckett.
A real change in the game, swinging the way of Victoria with those couple of outs. The runner's still out there, taking a big lead now, so WA want to get further ahead. But the big man Batrich has got something to say about that. The piece into the right field, we see him come in underneath it now. Nice out made. So Batrich makes his mark in that dig, replacing Goodall and retiring the next 3 batters. Well done.
Yeah, Batrich has come straight in and done the job for the Vics. So looks like a great move from Aiken as the WA team get the lead off on, but unable to advance them, and good catch at right field from Wheeler, retiring Beckett. Just want to go back to Jack Burt's at bat. He had a standing strikeout his first turn at bat, but then chipped in with an RBI single to centre field for his second, and then another standing strikeout on that occasion. So almost gone down without a fight, leaving that runner stranded on first, and WA still have a lead. So
yeah, but it could be costly. It's the bottom of the 6th here. There's only 1 run in it, so an important inning for Victoria. WA would have liked to have been in front by more than 1. So, very important inning here for Victoria. And it looks like we're back around to some pretty handy bats for the Victorian team.
Yeah, Weldon and Cassiano, John Hudson, then Rigg, they've all contributed in one way or another. And so this is the part of the lineup that Victoria will look to tie the game, if not go ahead. So what is interesting is that there's still no action in the WA bullpen. We started to mention fatigue starting to set in a little bit for Harris. We saw one of his warm-up pitches hit the back net again, so he's got to dig deep for his team.
There's a big piece from Weldon.
That is high. That is a moonshot.
Very high. But he gets underneath it and takes the out. So Weldon looking to go deep off the first pitch of the innings, not getting the piece that he wanted. And a nice out made at centre field. So 1 up, 1 down.
Only just missed that one. Weldon is a game changer. The man Mountain in Weldon, and that one just short of the fence. Brendan O'Byrne makes some good ground to get under that one and take a comfortable catch.
The man at bat now, but Cassiano, he's been pivotal for the Victorian lineup so far. His at-bats have been excellent, staying in the count with foul balls and getting on twice. So an important at-bat now for Cassiano. Pulls that one back.
Sammy Cass on board twice, going deep in the count on both occasions, seeing multiple pitches off for a foul ball, remaining in the count till he gets the one he likes.
That one could work for him here. Yeah, nice play. Brings Brown in off the corner of third. Harris calling, get it, get it, get it. But again, Cassiano
finds a way. Yeah, finds a way. And on this occasion, it was a check swing that caught everyone on their heels.
None of them have been pretty, but they've all worked.
Oh, you'll take them every time, particularly in a semi-final.
When you're one behind in the bottom of the 6. So, as we said, important at bat. Big John Hudson up for the Vicks now.
2 of the 3 RBIs for the Vicks in this game with his shot in the first inning, and then sacrifice bunt.
And good wheels on the runner too on one. Cassiano, he's shown just how fast he is. He gets a safe call there. Took the lead, but a nice arm from Burt. You talked about that. And Nelly worked on that occasion.
Yes.
That'll keep Cassiano anchored to the bag on this next play, I would assume.
Yeah, Sam Cass just getting off the base a little bit there and dives back safely on the outside edge of the bag. So textbook base running.
He looks like an athlete, Cassiano.
Yeah, great ball player. He actually captained the Junior Steelers the year that he played at the Junior Worlds in Argentina. Great leadership qualities. Good all-round ball player.
Reminds me a little bit of a great Australian player, Phil Savage.
You stumped me on that one, Adam. What generation was that one? I'm just...
a few generations ago, my friend, but rest assured he looks a lot like him and plays a lot like him. Same skills. Let's that one go, Hudson. So we have runners on 1 and 2 now. Cassiano, the runner, in scoring position.
In the DP role, John Hudson's been huge for Victoria so far in this game. We just mentioned it before. It was a 2 RBI single, first time up to bat, then a sacrifice bunt. This time aboard from a base on balls, advancing Sammy Cass to second. We'll see the runner come in
the Crean, the runner coming in for Hudson. So Coach Del Piero is calling a conference here, bringing his team in, regain some composure.
Yeah, good opportunity for them with that substitution to get out there and have a talk, because just the 1 out, 2 runners on base, and Glenn Rigg up to bat, the dangerous Glenn Rigg.
Yeah, he's been good for his team so far, Rigg, tonight, in both the field and at bat.
Yeah, hit a double last turn up to bat, just dropped short of the fence.
Not quite finding the corner there, looking for the edge on the right-hand side. Not quite getting it. Still no movement in the bullpen for WA, so it's on Harris at the moment. Looking for the play. We're going to advance a run on that throw. That one getting away. Centre fielder coming in. The runner is advanced now. Runners on 2 and 3.
So Burt attempting that backdoor pick-off.
So do we
nearly
see Rigg
paid
go
off.
for the off-field hit now? We're looking to the right field with the runner in scoring position.
Yeah, if he gets this ball behind the runners, should score 1, maybe even 2, depending on how good the hit is. But just go back to Burt's attempted pick-off. That is the danger of having a weapon like that. Cannon of an arm that he has is that if it gets away from the fielder that he's throwing it to, it's going to cost you a base every time.
Harris not holding back on that delivery there. He had everything behind that one.
Yeah, he's got to dig deep now, Harris. 2 runners in scoring position with just the 1 out.
A nice delivery from Harris. Gets his man swinging there.
Vic Dugout up and about at the moment.
2 and 2 to call.
Trying to pump up Rigg here.
Evenly poised here, Rigg. Big deep breath. See the shoulders rise and fall. Harris puts that one on the inside. Rigg lets it go, so we're full in the count now.
Drawing on all of his experience here, Rigg. Part of that Victorian dynasty of the early 2000s. Captaining the team now and leaves that inside pitch for a ball. Payoff pitch. 2 runners in scoring position. Not sure what happened there. I wasn't even sure if the catcher was giving any signals there. It was timeout was called.
Ball 4 called, missing the outside of the plate. Loaded bases.
Well, back-to-back walks for Victoria and Adam. I said it at the start of the game in error that he would throw as many walks as he does strikeouts, and he got up to 10 strikeouts before he threw his first walk, and now he's thrown 2 in a row. So still no action in the bullpen for WA when they've got Beckett who can throw. He's done pretty well so far in this tournament. Victoria going to their bench yet again. Another change, and we're going to see the young player Jaden Banford come in for a pinch hit. Perfect time to do it as well. Steve Dawson's had 2 strikeouts so far in the game, so good time to bring in a young player who's hungry.
He's all smiles. He makes his way in, so he's confident. Let's see what he can do for his team here. Victoria now, Banford at plate. Harris gets that one in there. Banford fouls it away.
Great pitching from Harris to go inside on the new hitter who's keen to impose himself on this game, because if he gets one into play, a couple of runs, good score. Jams him up for a foul ball first pitch.
He needs to get a good piece of this one with Cassiano on third. There's a big swing we're looking for, but unable to make contact. So all the way of Harris here now to count 2 strikes. See what Harris chooses to do now. Does he work the batter around? Shortens the grip up on the bat. A big swing. So Harris digs himself out of that hole. 2 dead now. Loaded bases.
Well, Bamford goes down swinging on that occasion. 11th strikeout for Harris, and it just shows the crucial time of the game that he felt, and he really brought himself back up for that one after giving 2 walks in a row. Comes back with a big strikeout for Western Australia.
Samaras up at bat now for Victoria with it all to do. Loaded bases, 2 out. You don't want to leave those runners stranded. It's a very important inning and at bat for Samaras. Now is not the time we want to see a walk from Harris. Up and on the outside. Samaras lets it go. Good call. 2 balls, so well in front of the count now, Samaras. Harris needs to put one in the zone, so Samaras could be looking for the shot. Gets it on the inside, so 3 balls to count. Harris.
3-0 count with loaded bases.
Still no movement in the bullpen.
Look at Sammy Cass on third base, just telling him to settle there because Samaras walked out the box. He flipped the bat a little bit. Definitely feeling the nerves here.
That's a nice pitch. Tough pitch to throw, but he got the man on that occasion. So 3 balls, 1 strike. Samaras still in front. Cassiano like a spring on third base, ready to go.
That one inside, but Samaras jammed up a little bit there and fouls it off. Look at him, he's bouncing around, flipping the back. Yeah.
Right off the end by the look of it.
Showing those nerves again. He had a couple of good pitches to see there with 3 balls and no strikes, and now with 2 out, loaded bases, runners will go on the pitch.
You see the big wry smile from Samaras there. He knew he had it. Wasn't able to make the most of that one. So this is it now. Oh, the big swing and a miss. Samaras not able to do the job. Harris gets his man. Retires Victoria without any damage to that scoreline. They still lead 4-3. That's a gutsy dig from Harris.
What a huge comeback from Harris there. 3-0 with loaded bases. So much pressure, and he grooves one, and then he jams up the hitter Samaras to go 2 strikes and 3 balls, and then gets the strikeout. And see the fist pump as well. He was pumped up, and he holds the lead for WA. It's 4-3 after 6 complete. Huge game. So much on the line.
Yeah, right down to the wire. Once again, these 2 teams, they've shown right through the tournament there's nothing in this. Very entertaining.
Steve Dawson will re-enter the game out at centre field after a pinch hit from Bamford, and the pressure that we spoke about with Harris. There was actually loaded bases with 1 out.
Yeah, he really dug deep there and got the job done. So kudos to Mr. Harris, as we see Nathan Brown up to bat now for the WA team. It's a foul piece of that one to start the inning.
Well, the 9-hitter for WA, Nathan Brown, and then we go back to the dangerous top for their 4th time.
A nice piece driven down the third baseline into left field. Nice pick up and throw, but the damage done. Nathan Brown safe on first base. Nice lead off for WA there. So now back to the top of the order. Scotty Patterson. Vocal crowd support behind the WA batter here. Attempted bunt. The runner was well on his way. Unfortunately, Scott not able to control that one.
Yeah,
puts it into foul territory.
Interesting to note then that was a running bunt attempt, not a sacrifice attempt. So still trying to get himself safely aboard and advance the runner.
Absolutely. Real attacking play from WA. And why not? They're ahead 1 here in the top of the 7th. So they really want to try and get some more runs on board. So that attacking play is the key for WA. We see a strike called. So 2 strikes now. Badich well in front of the count. Patterson's going to have to think about this one. Pitch out, call. Patterson all over it. Yeah, nice pitch. Sits him down standing there. No swing given. He wasn't happy with the call, Patterson, but the call was confident.
It was a huge lead-off single from Brown, but then massive comeback strikeout from Battrich.
Here's our mate Rakic up the bat again. Got hit by the pitch last at bat. And a big swing on this occasion. Scored last time he was up, taking the base on the hit pitch, but then was able to score after being advanced by his fellow bats. He's behind in the count now, 2 strikes. Needs to keep his head on here.
Thought that one might have hit the elbow, but it's come off the knob of the bat.
Knob of the bat again.
Never short of a word, Rakic. He laughs that one off and has a conversation with plate umpire Scott Rhineflesh.
They're well in the conversation now, so we have a 3-way chat. And we're back into the game now, Rakic. Oh. Weldon wasn't sure he got a hold of that one, but kept it in play.
Base-saving pickup from Weldon, and every base is vital at this stage of the game. The top of the 7th, 1 runner on, 1 batter out, 1 run in the game.
It's that real look of, I'm not sure if I've got this, but it's here. Time called. So Weldon approaching Badich now. They'll just have a little chat.
Timeout called, yeah. It's the first baser that's doing the groundskeeping, which is interesting. Not the pitcher, who's the one landing in it, but... Rakic getting himself back in the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Double play attempt.
Yeah, nice double play there from the Vicks. Very well done. Badich coming back into the game after conference. And the defense behind him doing the job. Great play.
Well, Adam, is 1 run enough? Harris dug himself out of a hole the last inning, but might be a good time to remind you that Victoria has come from behind to beat WA just yesterday. First time they played on day one, they were down 3-5 going into the 7th. They did score one to get back, but they just fell 1 run short, 5-4 on that occasion. But yesterday, they were down by 2 runs. They scored 3 in the bottom of the 7th to run over the top of WA. So,
does the previous innings do damage to Victoria there? Are WA confident that they can hold back that flow if the situation occurs again this innings, considering they did it 1 innings ago?
Yeah.
Who takes the confidence from that?
Yeah, great point, Adam. I think the point of the lineup that we're at for Victoria actually favours them. They're at the top of the order, although Samaras left 3 runners on base, and the Vics really didn't take advantage of those opportunities. But we come around to the top of the order, and this is the part of the order you want in this situation.
Yeah, and we've got Weldon and Cassiano coming up late in this if they get through. So, yeah, some important at-bats here for Victoria. This is where the job needs to be done. Sinclair, the lead-off batter.
Well,
dropping to the knee with a big swing. Harris really pushing in express there.
It's so fitting the time of the game that we're at. It's 1 run in it.
And another big pitch from Harris gets his man. Sinclair goes down swinging. So we're 2 outs away from WA advancing to the preliminary final.
1 run in it. Sinclair goes down swinging. Harris with 13 strikeouts.
Shanahan at bat now. One on the inside of the plate there. Shanahan getting out of the way. Change up getting away. Not happy with his pitch there, Harris. Shake of the head. Bird will go out and just give his man a little consolation tap. Rakic in his ear as well, talking him up. Great team support from the WA boys. They know how important these batters are. Three balls, so well Shanahan's way. Let's see what Harris delivers now. Goes for the change, doesn't get it. So Shanahan advances on a walk to first base. Ricky Wheeler up the bat now for Victoria with a tying run on first base here in the bottom of the 7th. 1 out.
Yeah, great turn at bat from Shanahan for Victoria. Patiently waiting until he got one he liked, and turned out he gets a walk. So tying run on base.
Pretty important phase of the game here when you look at who's at bat next as well.
Already been intentionally walked once in this game, Weldon.
Absolutely.
His last turn at bat was a massive shot that just fell a couple of feet short of the fence.
Crucial at bat for Wheeler here for Victoria. We see a big swing. Weldon getting behind his fellow bat there, just giving some words of advice. Ricky steps out. Harris. Another nice piece. Stays in the game with a foul ball. One ball, 2 strikes account on Wheeler. Fouled away again. Harris putting that one. Plenty of pace on that. One ball, 2 strikes, Ricky Wheeler. Big swing and a miss, goes down. Brings to the plate now the big man, Weldon. 2 dead. Bottom 7, tying run on first base. And the big man at bat, who's already been intentionally walked once.
And you can tell that is exactly what this conversation is about at the moment, as Harris takes as much time as possible here to gather himself and compose himself. Do we put him on? That represents the winning runner, though.
Well, he's attacked in the last 2 at bats, but we didn't have any runners in scoring position on those occasions, so it is a real battle of wits. We saw there the first pitch was an attacking pitch, so that could set the scene now. Weldon's got it all to do. One gets away, the runner advances.
Well, this puts the tying run in scoring position now for Weldon and opens up first base, which will make this an interesting conversation as Del Perro calls timeout. Do we put Weldon on? But that will represent the winning run on base for Sam Cassiano, who's been on base all 3 times.
You saw there, as Del Perro was making his way out, Harris just acknowledging the rest of his teammates. It's okay, I've got this. So he's ready to shoulder the load.
Gee, the silence is deafening around the stadium now,
Absolutely.
isn't it? Everyone has gone stone cold silent. This is 2 out. Bottom of the 7th.
Crowd getting behind WA now.
They've made the call to intentionally walk Weldon.
Intentional walk called, so you picked it there.
And Victoria going immediately to pinch runner 25, Todd Crean. That's the last substitution that the Vics can make, but it's the time of the game to do it with 2 out in the bottom of the 7th. Everything on the line. So a faster runner now on second and a catcher speed up onto first as well. So that puts the wheels on the diamond now for Victoria. So if Sam Cassiano can put this ball into play, we could see them go all the way around.
Could this game be any tighter at this point? Cassiano at bat. We know how dangerous he's been. As you said, the speed on the diamond. This is a man I'd want in the box for me.
Well, very interestingly, just to note here, Del Perro, it's still time out, but Del Perro's come out to have another chat to his team, held up at the gate by umpire Ryan Flesh, and he communicates through the gate to third base player Nathan Brown. So obviously there was a message that they wanted to deliver, perhaps on the hitter.
Yeah, nice big lead off from the runners as well. Crean on second base, well off. Well,
maybe that message was that Brown's in the hot corner because Cassiano's gone to him twice in this game.
Absolutely.
Both times successful, and you can tell that Harris might sense that as well because he's keeping it right
well
away
from that zone. Absolutely right there. Such a great game, this one. Checks the swing, but called.
Outside edge. I just heard a comment.
Outfielders are so deep on this play.
Just heard a comment from behind us that the outfield is so deep, so they're almost giving up that tying run.
Here it is, ground ball, shortstop. Oh, it doesn't grab it.
Scaramella bobbled it right at the moment where the runner crossed out in front of him, so the speed of Crean gets him aboard safely. John Hudson now up to bat, so Sam Cassiano aboard for the 4th time in the game.
Deja vu, loaded bases, 2 out. They need the run to score to equalise. The big man, Hudson. in the box.
Yeah, we saw Jason Crean, the other Crean, in the Victorian lineup. Came in and pinch run for John Hudson the last time he got on from a walk. He's re-entered back into the game, the DP. Tying run on third. Game-winning run on second. Can Harris hold his nerve? He's already done that so far in this game pretty well.
He's done it once. This will be the measure of the man. And makes a play himself. Throws the one. Throws out a one and takes the win for his team, Western Australia. They'll go on to meet ACT in the preliminary final tomorrow morning. Very gutsy effort from that man Harris on the pitching plate. We talked about it going into the innings. He got himself behind again, loaded bases. He was able to make the play himself and get his team the victory.
Yeah, the performance of the game has to go to Harris there. 14 strikeouts for his team, and then makes that final play of the game. Had to keep his cool, didn't want to overthrow that, because the run would have scored, then the winning run would have been turning hard on third. So gallant performance from the Victorians, took it to WA the entire game, but the grit and determination of this WA team, without a recognised ace on the mound, have moved all the way into the preliminary final, and they'll face ACT tomorrow morning. So huge game, a huge result.
They will take a lot of confidence from that win. There was a lot of gutsiness about it. So, yeah, they'll look to face ACT in the morning. We're back here at 9:30, so don't forget, come on board and witness the 36th Australian Men's Softball Championship preliminary final, and also the under-15 boys regional finals, and then the big one. We'll see who is the winner, and they'll take on New South Wales. So thanks for listening and watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.
What I make it call it?
Legend.
Wales Hall of Famer.
Okay. My bad.
No, my bad. You're not meant to know it. That's just my vintage. Alright, hey, good call and well done. I'll see you tomorrow. Yep, for sure. Thank you. Ha 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 ha!